Dear Black Africans, who taught you that God is white and why? This may upset some people, but I have to say it. There is a war that most people cannot see. It's not fought with weapons, but with images, ideas, and beliefs planted deep into the mind. This war does not leave scars on the body, but it leaves chains on the spirit. And the most dangerous part about it is that many don't even know they are caught in it. From a young age, many are taught what to believe, what to value, and even what to worship. These lessons are not always spoken directly. They are shown through pictures, stories, movies, and systems that repeat the same message over and over again until it feels normal. When something is repeated enough, it stops being questioned. For a people who hold strong spiritual beliefs, the concept of God is sacred. It's powerful. It shapes how they see the world and themselves. So if you want to control the mind, you do not attack the body first. You go straight for what they hold highest. You reshape their idea of God. And once that image is changed, everything else follows. Identity shifts, self-worth changes. What is respected and what is rejected gets flipped upside down. And before long, the person no longer sees himself clearly. This is not something that happens overnight. It is slow, steady, and deeply rooted. And because it works on a level below conscious thought, it becomes almost impossible to detect unless someone takes the time to truly question what they have been taught. When the image of God is replaced with something that looks nothing like you, something powerful happens in the mind. Without realizing it, you begin to associate greatness, purity, and authority with that image. It becomes the standard, even if no one says it out loud. This is where the real trap begins, because it is not about money, status, or even power on the surface. It's about perception. It's about what the mind has been trained to see as higher, better, and worthy of praise. And once that perception is locked in, behavior follows. A person can consciously say they believe in one thing, but their subconscious tells a different story. And the subconscious always wins. It's like trying to fight an enemy that you cannot see. You cannot defeat what you do not even know is there. So what happens is this. The mind starts to connect certain physical traits with divinity, not because it's true, but because it has been repeated and reinforced over generations. And over time, that connection becomes automatic. It does not matter if the person in front of you is wealthy or broke, kind or cruel. If the image in your mind has already labeled them as higher, then your actions will reflect that belief. Respect is given freely. Validation is sought. Approval becomes important. And this is where the damage becomes clear, because now the value of self begins to shrink. If God does not look like you, then somewhere deep inside, you start to believe that you are less than what you should be. The most dangerous ideas are the ones that live in the dark, the ones that are never questioned, the ones that feel natural, even though they were taught. Because once something becomes part of your subconscious, it runs your life without asking for permission. You can argue with facts, you can debate opinions, but you cannot easily fight something that operates below your awareness. That is why understanding is the first step to breaking free. You have to see it before you can challenge it. If a person truly understood how deeply this programming runs, it would shake them. It would force them to ask hard questions. Why do I see things the way I do? Where did this belief come from? Who benefits from me thinking this way? Because once you start asking those questions, the illusion begins to crack. And when the illusion cracks, the power it had over you starts to fade. But that requires honesty. It requires courage. It requires a willingness to admit that something may be wrong with what you have been taught. And not everyone is ready for that step. The journey back starts with awareness. It starts with seeing the pattern and calling it what it is. Not running from it, not denying it, facing it head on with clear eyes and a strong mind. Once you see it, you begin to take your power back piece by piece. You stop automatically placing others above yourself based on false ideas. You begin to question the images that were given to you. You start to rebuild your understanding from the ground up. And this is where true freedom begins. Not in what you have, but in how you think. Because once your mind is free, no one can control your perception. No one can trick you into lowering yourself again. You begin to understand that worth is not based on appearance. Divinity is not tied to a face. And truth does not change just because it has been covered up for a long time. This is not about hate. This is not about division. This is about clarity. It is about removing the blindfold and seeing reality for what it is. There comes a moment when a person wakes up, when they realize that what they believed was not entirely their own, that it was shaped, molded, and guided in ways they never noticed before. That moment can be uncomfortable. It can be painful, but it is also powerful. Because once you wake up, you cannot go back to sleep the same way again. You begin to see through the illusion. You begin to understand the game. And more importantly, you begin to understand yourself. And when you understand yourself, you reclaim something that was always yours. Your identity, your worth, your connection to something greater that does not depend on any image created by man. The truth is not always easy to hear, but it is necessary, because without truth, there can be no real freedom. Thank you for listening. I hope you absorb those words totally. Lance Scurv out. On to the next one. Peace.